difficulty in breathing. So
because of their immune system,
we wouldn't really talk about immune system because children's immune system is not as hard as compared to me and you when you're about like 20 or something.
Right.
But like, it wasn't bad in children. And the second thing is, the vaccine that we have was fast-tracked.
Okay.
So, and the basic thing you're supposed to know is even the people that went for the trials, when blacks were few. I don't know whether we were scared or we didn't want to do it because I heard those things. Hey, they shouldn't come and test the vaccines here. If you don't do the trials, how are you going to get it? So you see, some of the other countries got the vaccines because they were part of the trials. That's a basic thing. So if you are part of the trials, maybe you would have gotten it earlier. But we thought maybe someone wanted to do something to us. That's why we were not part of the trials. So if you are part of the trials that have come earlier, and the children, basically, there were no trials on them. They didn't have any trials for children. That's why we cannot give it to them as of now, but I can give it to the adults.
Now, once you take these vaccines, would you be immune for life, such that you wouldn't have to get this?
So as of now, what we know for now is if you take the vaccine, it's about 8 months to 1 year. That's what we know for now. But there are studies ongoing because at a point we thought some of the vaccines just prevented you from having milder symptoms. Now we got to know some of them can prevent you from getting the disease. But basically, as of now, what we know is if you take the vaccine, you are protected for a year, about 8 months to a year. That's what we know for now.
Okay, for a year.
For a year, 8 months to a year.
Immune.
That's what we know for now.
Right.
Do you understand? No, if you can,
yeah, you can throw more light on that.
Okay, so if you take a vaccine, some of the vaccines you take a first shot, maybe they will tell you to take another shot within 2 months, or take a third shot. Then you have boosters. Boosters will make your it will stimulate your immune system to produce more antibodies.
Okay.
For now, we don't know boosters or something for now, but all that we know for the COVID vaccine as of now is if you take them, you are protected for about 8 months to 1 year. That's what we know for now.
Okay. So once you get vaccinated, do you have to wear nose masks again?
Yes. So as I said earlier, if you get a shot, it doesn't mean you can't get infected. You can get infected, or you may not get infected. That's one. And when you get infected, you might have just mild symptoms. And the third thing I also said is you transmitting it goes a little bit low. So you transmitting the virus is a little bit down. So the fact that you had the vaccine doesn't mean we should go back to getting close to people, taking off our face mask and stuff. Because as you said, there are more studies ongoing. So there will be a point, maybe after a year or two, they will tell, okay, if you have this vaccine, you don't need to wear the mask. Because for now, there are more studies on this one. Now we know if you take it, you can get infected. It might be mild. So it's not like you get it and you're going to die. So the fact that you have the vaccine doesn't mean you should take off your mask, start running around, hugging people, getting close. No. So we are still protecting ourselves. But it means it's like a second line. Now you have one protection, you have another protection. So you have your mask on, you keep your social distance, then you are also having the vaccine. So it's like something triple for you, which makes it a little bit better.
Somebody's saying that even after this COVID, will we still be okay? Because imagine being masked almost all the time. You can't have normal breath. You can't even have this thing. Would you still be okay?
Psychologically, I think COVID has put a very big toll on everyone.
Right.
It's someone said this is the new norm that we are having. Things might not go back to pre-COVID times. Things have really changed, like the way we. I think now almost everyone doesn't want to. You can't shake someone. They'll just do this for you. So I don't think after we'll still start shaking people and doing all these things. I think this might come to stay. People will be a little bit some people will be a little bit depressed about some things because things have changed for them. And even as of now, it's not just maybe physical or social, even for the maybe the hotels, for workers, things have changed for them. Now you can't just get up and say, I'm going to sell this here, I'm going to do this. Hotels, pubs are closed down, so if you work in a pub, you are not working for a long time, the thing goes away. Okay, so this was a time that I wasn't working. It affects everyone, and I don't think things will come back the same. Even if it normalizes, people have had the effect already, but we hope it normalizes fast.
Okay, so another listing that aside children who can be vaccinated with this particular AstraZeneca, are there other group of people too that can be vaccinated?
Basically for now, almost everyone can be vaccinated apart from children. Okay. So they talked about pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers.
Yes, I wanted to ask if they are also savable.
Okay, so pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, the studies show they can be vaccinated. They can take the shot. Can take the shot. Good. So they are also one of the high risk people. So it's better they get the shot than to get the infection, which might be worse than they getting the shot. So it's better for the pregnant women and the breastfeeding mothers to get it, as compared to as compared to getting the infection, which might be worse than getting the vaccination.
The vaccine.
Yes.
Let me come back to you, of course, on this particular one again. Still on the vaccine issue and all that. What do you think government should do at this particular point in time?
Yeah, I think, as my brother admitted, even among the health workers, some of them are not certain whether they are going to take it.
Yeah.
And they are the people we are looking up to. For this medicine, if you are to be security, we have people that are looking up to them. And so can you imagine we have security issues and our police people come out to say we are afraid, or military problems, we are afraid. Then maybe we should go and hide. Because they are the men to stand in for us. The same way, when you have medical issues, we are looking up to our health professionals. So that's why calls are being placed to them here now, and because people want that kind of assurance for them. And now it's very unfortunate that when you call some of the answers, I spoke to somebody yesterday, and I didn't get the kind of assurance I wanted, or I was expecting from him. And that's very bad. You understand? Because I believe most calls will be going to them. So now they need them. We need to now give them the kind of assurance they need, because for now they are not certain. And if they are not certain, I know the large percentage of our population will not be certain, because we are depending on them now for the information. This medicine. And you cannot just go to a pastor for information on medicine. You cannot go to lawyers for information on medicine. They are the right people to educate us. So I believe the kind of information they need to quickly, as early as possible, whether through seminars or what kind of thing they can do to explain things to them. They need to do it, because the teachers, we call it a trainers on training. Those who are being taught to come and teach us are telling that they don't know anything about it. It's very alarming, and I think for now, whatever the government needs to do, I think they quickly need to. Because this one, you can't use force. As my brother says, it's one of the greatest. One thing that is very powerful is belief. That's why somebody can put a bomb on himself, believing that if I should die with a certain group of people, I will end up in heaven or so. That's the kind of belief people have. That's why they can bomb themselves, kill themselves, and commit that kind of suicide bombers. Today, people do, because what is the motivation? Is sometimes no money. It's belief. They believe in something the same way. Some of those crusaders, Christians, were being killed because they believe that if you should die in this kind of state, I will end up in heaven. So belief is very, very powerful. What you believe in affects, in fact, it affects everything that you do. That's why somebody can fall sick, and as he rightly said, a colleague, a medical or doctor going for herbal medicine. It's not that herbal medicine is not good, but they understand that it has its own issues. They understand that's belief. So when people now have belief in, that means some of the information I alluded to have gotten down to the medical officers. There are some of them that believe in the conspiracy theories. You understand? So until you now give a different information to them, you can never, because any time there are issues are problems, try on information, depends on what we hear. If right now I come to GTV now, and I don't know you, and the kind of information they will give me, about you.
If you're looking at me in
that would be my
way.
first approach, because I will now, because I don't know you. You understand? So we need to now, government they have a task. There's one thing, getting the medicines, which we have to, applaud them. We have to, because they've done well. I think we are the first African country.
African.
Yes. And among our 19 countries, also there's some information came out. So please, we need to now applaud our leaders, although it is not adequate, as we've stated. But getting the medicine and not utilizing it means we've done nothing.
Right.
You understand? So it is important we do everything that it takes to make sure the frontliners take it, because they will give us much assurance. But if I see, and somebody was even telling me, well, how are you even sure? Is a medicine that they are going to inject them. Sometimes you can even see that they are injecting.
So someone saying they are coming to inject 666 into your system. It's not actually the medicine.
So these are the information out there. And over the years, pastors have been preaching about this, and although depending on your level of knowledge and those things, but from what I said, it's a different thing. That's what I stated earlier, that if you are refusing this medicine, they should as well refuse the polio immunization and the rest. Because from time to time, some of these medicines come to solve some of human issues. So we shouldn't now link this to our sales, because sales is a different thing. You understand? But this information is out there. How are we diffusing it? And to me, our people are not doing well. Our leaders are not doing well.
Yeah, with
that
information. That's very true.
Okay,
Now let me.
Can I
yes,
just
you
add
can
something?
go.
Okay. So Apostle spoke about some of our colleagues not. Okay. So if I compare them to the number of people who want to take it, it's like almost about 95.5.
The ones to take the vaccine.
Almost all my bosses that I know want to take it. Like almost most of the colleagues that I know would want to take it. A few that are not sure. I think the education is enough.
Okay.
You need to read on it. You need to research on it. You need to get, as I said, it's evidence-based medicine. So you go, you read. There are proper journals that have scrutinized their vaccines, and they can tell you, okay, this is better than this one is okay, you're supposed to take it this. So if you've not read, you wouldn't know. So when someone asks you, you are not confident enough to tell them. So if you've read about the vaccines, if you know what you're supposed to know, you can explain it to almost everyone, so that you convince them to take it. As Apostle said, if you are not taking this one, then why did you take the polio vaccine? Why did you take the TB shots when we were kids? They are virtually the same thing. And if something happens, there's supposed to be changes. And this is the change that we have now.
And when he made mention of those polio something, I referred him to the fact that even those times that we were taking the polio and this thing, some people who have been maimed for life. Some people can actually use parts of their bodies. Others actually, like, it also came with its own complication, a whole lot.
Is it the vaccine or those who didn't take it?
I think it's a vaccine.
Yeah, I think in Nigeria, quite recently, they had issue where they claimed the vaccine was, infected with some kind of thing. So there are issues.
Some people had spine. Now they for you hold this thing.
So even about normal injections, people get normal chloroquine injection those times, and they have maybe abscess at their buttocks. People have injections and different things happen. So as I said, the question is, was it due to the drug or it was due to something else? That's a question we need to ask almost every time. So if I inject you with water and you have a problem with your spine, and I told you it was a vaccine, you go and tell me, oh, it was a vaccine. No, it was a water. So does it mean would it have happened even if I injected you with anything? That's what we are supposed to know. So that's a basic thing. And people will talk about, okay, I had one injection, after that I can't move mine. It happens in the facilities. So we talk about the technique for the injection. Was it injected well? Was it the site that was supposed? So if you get to know, if you're injecting, you push it, then withdraw small. There are techniques for injecting.
Okay, so you just made mention of that. Let's quickly look at that.
I wanted to add something. See, he rightly said, we need that evidence whereby at least research needs to be conducted. But currently, as we sit here, since COVID came, almost every death is
COVID.
Yes, COVID. Almost all the people around me who have died during this period, we didn't even get their bodies to bury. All because the moment you die now, the question, what's research? Those people who are supposed to do the research, are they even doing it? But you are now the learned ones. You are the ones who, you are not giving us this kind of information.
Right.
So for instance, if you now immunize people with, let's say, polio immunization, then somebody, gets sick or something happens, the layman working on the street would link it to, what do you call it, the polio immunization. But the question is, you need to now conduct the research and come back to tell us, look, this and this happened, not because of it. We don't get those information. Like I said, if we try on information, everything you do, before we were colonized, we were eating our ampesi in the morning for breakfast. Now new information came in that you have to drink tea for breakfast. That's why we are not drinking tea. So we change based on information. So when you don't get a new information, you go by the old information. So it's not just enough to now defend us. Oh, did you do research? Even now, what research are we doing, or what research have we done that almost every death is now linked to COVID?
COVID.
Okay.
Right.
So can I?
Yes, you can continue.
Okay, so in Kolebu, for instance, we have research. We want to know because we got to know some of the patients. There were different presentations for COVID. Instead of they coming with cough and difficulty in breathing, they were coming with strokes. So someone presents with a stroke, you'll be thinking it's stroke, but you go and check, the patient has COVID. So it wasn't just because the patient had a stroke, because the patient was a hypertensive. So what we do is we screen them. If you have a high index of suspicion, you screen the patient, get to know the status. Patients might not die because of COVID. Something else might have killed the patient. We have patients who had malaria and they had COVID. So you treat the malaria, give them something symptomatic for the COVID, and they go home. So even if our patients die as at now, based on what the patient presented with, we do test for them. We had a patient, I think last week, patient had a stroke, patient came to the ward, patient had difficulty in breathing. We screened, patient was positive. So it's not like we are not doing, we are doing. We maybe that's the question. We don't ask, Ghanaians don't ask questions. If they come to us, they wouldn't even ask what's wrong with their relative. Only a few will ask. So if you ask questions, if you keep on asking questions, we'll get the answers.
The problem is, if you keep on asking questions, how well are you even ready to give out this information?
Okay, for my department, family medicine, if you come there, almost everything that's wrong with you, I'm supposed to explain it to you. Our bosses will be there to help explain it. So if you came with a particular condition, I'm supposed to explain the condition to you so that when you go, you'll be able to explain it to other people. So almost every patient on my ward knows what's wrong with them. That's what we're supposed to do for everyone. Ghanaians don't normally ask questions. When they see the doctor, I don't know what happens. But I'm supposed to ask questions. Ask questions. If you ask questions and the person doesn't want to answer, ask the next person, can I talk to your boss? I want to know this one. If you push and if you start asking questions to our leaders, okay, why did you take this one? This question you're supposed to ask them, Minister for Health, Ghana Health Service, why did we take AstraZeneca instead of this one? We considered this. I said what I thought. So they should be able to tell us, we considered this one, this one, this one. So do we have almost everyone dying of COVID? No. So even as I said, the COVID deaths are not, if you have 600, you cannot tell me for the past 1 year there have been 600 deaths in Ghana. So it's not everyone that dies that we link it to COVID. There are conditions, there are certain things that we look at that will link it to COVID. So if you are not able even to test the patient, if the patient dies and goes to the morgue, the test can be done for the patient so that we get to know, okay, this patient died, we tested and it was COVID. Okay,
right. You said something I don't really want to forget. You made mention of how the injection should be done. Looking at health workers and even people that you actually use for these injections and all that, this is a vaccine and you are supposed to administer it in a certain way. Now this is something new to that has come. What's with the education among health workers and all that, such that they will know that this is what I'm supposed to do? Because you are injecting somebody, and the slightest mistake can actually make the person go or just even lose his or her life.
Okay.
With regards to Ghana Health Service and also the medical fraternity and all that, what are you going to do such that people wouldn't make mistakes or health workers wouldn't make mistakes with this particular?
Okay, I may not be able to speak for the ministry, but I think normally vaccines come. The community health nurses, those that keep the vaccine, they have a bag, they have some ice chairs, they'll be good. They are trained on how to give the vaccines. So they are trained, they are given special needles, they go to training, they know the sites that they are supposed to give. So they are trained through all that. And they're even trained to know whether the vaccine is denatured. As I told you about the cold chain, if the vaccine gets warm, there's something called the vaccine vial monitor. The color changes. So if they even look at that one, they were able to know there's a problem with that one. And they wouldn't give. So they go through training before they start injecting people.
I'm still not convinced.
No, you are not convinced. That's like how.
Yeah.
So let's say basically, if you want to give an injection,
no, I'm not saying that what you said, I'm not buying into that. But even if the vaccine is here already, the agency to give it out.
That's what I want to just say something.
Yes.
If you want to give an injection, we call something intramuscular. So those are the big muscles.
Okay.
So that's why the injection that are given on your butt, because we want a big muscle. If you see those that are given insulin, they give it on their tummy.
Okay.
Good. So we have like there are different ones, subcut. So just under the skin. So it depends on how that particular injection is given. So they will tell you, okay, maybe if it's a particular vaccine, you're supposed to give it on your shoulder, because maybe the muscles there are not as big as the one on your butt. So there are different ways of giving the injection. So the manufacturer will tell you this one is supposed to be injected in a big muscle. So even if you get to see the needles, there are different ones. There's a green one, there's an orange one, there's a blue one.
At
So,
the tip there.
yes, so it changes. So it's based on what the manufacturer suggests that we do. And I think we even thinking about going for the vaccine, I think they would have been trained by now, or they'll be trained, because I think they said they will roll out by 2nd March. Basically, it will be like next week. So I think even by now people have been trained.
That's when. So that means the training comes before the vaccine.
The training comes before the vaccine comes, or the training comes with the vaccine before they start rolling out the vaccination.
So those that'll be taking the vaccine, what should they look out for, such that when you see, you know that this is the Zeneca that you are talking.
As like the vial.
Yes, maybe if I'm going to take the listing, there's something the receiver should look out for, so that there wouldn't be any mistakes.
So you can tell them you want to see the vial that they are giving you, then you read on it. So I think some of them they've written COVAX. They are different. So you get to see the vaccine. And you see, I think they've written that. I saw one yesterday, but I really don't have the whole picture for that one. So you can just tell them you want to read. You look at it and you read it yourself.
But there is also another thing that I also want to look at. The AstraZeneca. Now that's one vaccine on its own. Let's say it was something that was researched during the first COVID that had come. That was the vaccine that they had prepared. Now this is a new variant, and it keeps changing. Is it South Africa? What?
UK.
Yes, they're saying that particular variant can actually hide from the antibodies or escape from the antibodies and all that. Now this was something that they had researched on because of the new COVID, with changes and things that are happening. Now this is a new variant that is actually causing a whole lot of havoc.
Okay.
Do you think it can still stand the chance?
So I read the South Africa article too. It wasn't just they thinking of the new variant. They also thinking, they said the expiry date was too close. They said the expiry date was in April, so they wanted one that the expiry date would be Fine. We talk about the new variant. Okay. The study that was shown was some of the vaccines still covers the new variant. The study that shows says some of the vaccines still covered the new variant.
And some of the new vaccines doesn't include the
AstraZeneca is a new vaccine.
Yes, it's a vaccine, but you have like others. So if you're saying some, it might not even be the Astra.
I will not be here to be talking about someone's vaccines.
Okay.
It might be part. I don't
so
know.
Those are the trials and errors that I'm talking about.
So no, for this one, the vaccines that we have, they also talk about they being able to cover the new variants. I wouldn't want to mention names, but they said them. They can still cover the new variant. And South Africa talking about the AstraZeneca one not covering the new variant. I wouldn't be able to talk about that. And maybe AstraZeneca people can just come and talk about whether it still covers the new variants. I may not be their rep. I'm not their rep. So they can still. But like the teaching shows, some of the vaccines still covers the new variant. Like I said, I read of the Pfizer one. The Moderna one, they still cover the new variants. I really didn't see much on the AstraZeneca and the new variant one, so I can't really comment on that one.
Now, before we wrap up, Apostle made mention of our leaders trying to celebrate or hold some jamboree for the arrival of the vaccine. Do you think it's in order? Like, do you think it's
okay? Honestly, I'm a doctor.
Okay.
I may not be able to talk much, but yesterday,
on your opinion,
personally, even with my friends yesterday, we were a little bit bored about that one. I think it was
out of place.
It wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
It was. We get vaccines. So you get the vaccines, you just pick them up, you go and do what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be celebrating about this one. If you had our vaccine, we will be celebrating. That one is normal. But if you have a vaccine from someone, 600,000, then we have. I think we need to change our mindset. We make people look down upon us. Why would we be jubilating about this thing? Then someone sees you and they start laughing. It's like you don't even know what
before we just say this thing and close the whole this thing. Ghana is the first to have this vaccine. Is this something that we are doing so well that we, as an African country, have been able to get this first?
Ghana is not the African country to get to.
Right.
So Africa to get the AstraZeneca.
Yes, the AstraZeneca.
Because I think Egypt got one from UAE long ago. So I don't know whether it's something about the government. It's sometimes it might be negotiations. Yes. So if they've been able to negotiate with them, if there are other things that they did for us so that we get it quick, that will be on their
time. So just wrap up.
I just wanted to add something that some of these gambling that rather exposes certain, I don't know whether total because if issues have been raised by a country concerning this particular product, then you go for it and you are at the airport jubilating. Are you suggesting to us that because people are going for it, you also
want to
it's
go?
like people buying things for their wives and you feel like I've got
you
understand? It rather exposes certain thoughts, which to me is not good because it goes to confirm certain conspiracy theories that are already in the system. Because if startup have raised issues about this particular company, you go there for their medicine, then you are here jubilating for what?
You're right. Time is not.
I'll say something small about what you said. Okay. AstraZeneca Oxford is from UK.
Okay.
The strain that we're worried about was from UK. So you're supposed to know they wouldn't do something that will not cover for them.
Okay.
Because if it's from UK, it means they've been covered.
Okay.
That's why I said you can't say if it wasn't covered. They raised two issues. They said the expiry date was very close, and they talked about the other variants. Even though they've started injecting.
Right.
So I think maybe AstraZeneca will be able to throw more light. But I what I read, I know it covers. I know the Pfizer covers. I know the Moderna covers. Those new ones covers the variants.
Okay.
That's what I know.
Okay. Right. So Dr. Kwame Ofori-Kwama has been giving us so much. What should I say? Morale. I think I'm convinced, but then maybe I might hold him responsible if anything happens because he has given us reasons beyond any this thing that really this vaccines you can go in for it and all that. But then I might side with Apostle Smart.
Apostle will go for it.
Apostle will go for
Apostle is going for
it.
the
He said that don't be deceived.
Yes.
Apostle might go in for
No,
it.
not might.
Okay.
He would.
Yes, he would. I know. Apostle, are we lying?
Yeah. That's I mean, I've been speaking for, I mean, to people to go.
Okay, right. So we've been
need more
talking
information.
about the arrival of the new COVID-19 vaccine, the AstraZeneca and all that. And my guest has been Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah, who is a lecturer and also an apostle as well. And also foreign stake,
Yes, Christian.
a whole lot. He's a whole lot in one. And also Dr. Kwame Ofori Karoma, who is also a resident at the Department of Family Medicine. And we've been talking about the arrival of COVID-19 vaccines and all that. Stay with us. Your stop will be coming your way with other segments of the Breakfast Show. My name is Humo Kusum Alhassan.